Hi, it's me, Clayton again. I know my last one was a little short, so this time I'll give you a little bit more in-depth detail about my life. Um, I became positive in 1994. I was 19 years old, and I was just my first year into the Army. When I found out I had given blood to American Red Cross, and they notified me by mail that my blood work was abnormal and I needed to come and see them. Went down there, and she took me in this little room, and she told me that I tested positive. And I was a little scared. And I mean, that's a blow right there, right there. When you're 19 years old, to tell you that you've become HIV positive. I admit it. I cried for about a week, and then I said, you know what? Nothing I can do about it now. That's something I gotta live with. And then so I started, the cocktails, the antiviral drugs, and believe me, I've been on a lot of them. And there are so many different side effects. I mean, there were days where couldn't get out of bed. I was in the bathroom throwing up. Some were harsher than others. Some, I broke out in rashes. And my doctor used to call me his little allergic bunny because I was allergic to almost everything they gave me. But I have finally found one that I can tolerate. I've been on it for almost 7 months now. And for a long time, when I first was positive, my counts were good. And you know when you can tell when your body's had enough and you need a break. So every now and then, I would take a break from taking meds. I would stay off of them for about 6 months to a year. The last time I was off for a year and a half, which was not a good thing. My T cells went down to 2, and I ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks because I got esophagitis. I'd gotten ulcers in my esophagus where I couldn't eat. Couldn't swallow anything for 30 days. I went with nothing to eat but popsicles. I lost 70 pounds. I was looking really bad. And I didn't notice because I wasn't looking in the mirror. But my best friend came over to visit me, and he walked to the room and he started crying. And he turned around and walked out, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I can't look at you like that. Do you know what you look like? It tears me up." So I went and looked in the mirror, and I'm like, "Oh my God. I didn't notice I was that bad." So that evening, I took myself to the hospital where, started me on some new antibiotics. Found out that I had a couple lesions on my brain. Was treated for something called toxoplasmosis, which are lesions in the brain that I could have died from if I hadn't waited any longer. But the treatment worked. The toxo's gone. The lesions have disappeared. There's a little bit of brain deterioration from where the lesions were, but other than that, I'm fine. And I don't recommend, if you start antivirals, that you ever stop because they do work. You just have to find the ones that will work for you and your body. What else can I tell you? I've had a couple other close calls, over the past 16 years. I got bronchitis one time. I had pneumonia once, and then had gotten something called cellulitis, which is an infection that HIV people can get. It's like boils, and I don't like going to doctors, so I waited too long, and it got really, really bad. And the antibiotics that they had to give me, through an IV for 2 weeks, depleted my blood platelets so bad that I almost died. But I didn't because I'm a fighter. I'm still here. I'm not willing to give up. Not yet, at least. I still have a long life to live. And that's the way everybody should look at it. Everybody should look, this is not a death sentence. There are millions of people living with it longer than what I have in 16 years. I have friends that have had it for 20 and 25 years, and they are healthy and fine. It's just think of it as the guest that won't leave. The guest that is annoying and will not leave even when you give them the worst hint of all, But it'll, there are days when I think I can't take anymore and I want to throw the towel in. But then I think, that's not fair to my family, my friends, the ones who care about me and that want me here. That's not what I should do. I should keep on fighting until they find a cure. And just to give you a little facts about what's going on in the world today with HIV, people don't understand and people don't know that there are 33.4 million people in the world today who are HIV positive. 31.3 million are adults, 15.7 million are women, and 2.1 million are children under the age of 15. And since the AIDS epidemic started, there's been 2 million deaths total. Now, as of 2008, this is misconception. People think that gay people are the ones who are the most people that have it. That's not. 4,220 were heterosexual men. 2,760 were homosexual men, and 2,790 were black African American men and women. So we're not number one, as people often think that we are. And people, I don't understand why people don't get tested, because I personally am glad that I know that I am. I can protect myself. I can protect people that I'm with, people that I care about. You know, I'm not out there unknowingly giving it to people that, 27% of America is not tested and won't get tested, which I don't understand why. I think it's better to know than not. I am very up and open and honest about my condition. I don't hide it from anybody. If anybody has any questions, I openly talk about it. It's a part of my life. It's not going anywhere. So why hide it? And when I meet somebody, that's the very first thing I tell them. Hey, I'm HIV positive. You have a problem with that? If they do, that's their problem, not mine. I'm not going to live my life based on what other people think. So, as of now, I'll leave you with this thought. Live life to the fullest. Be happy. Treat people as you want to be treated. Don't hate. Don't discriminate. And just keep everybody in your prayers. Have compassion for your fellow human man. Thank you, and I will be back again later.